The latest. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. The oceans around South Africa are no longer quiet. Warships have arrived at South African port, and within hours, global attention shifted. This is not a routine naval visit. This is BRICS making a statement. Loud, clear, and impossible to ignore. Nobody can say this is not a warning to some other people who are trying to carry the world as massive steel vessels docked. The message was unmistakable. The global balance of power is changing, and Africa is right at the center of it. South Africa is representing Africa, and Africa is just sitting here, and all we do is observe what is going around us. South Africa, a founding member of BRICS, has become a strategic stage where the old world order is colliding with a rising multipolar future. While Western capitals scramble for explanation, BRICS nations are tightening military and strategic operation, showing they are no longer content with economic influence anymore. This is the point at which Africa needs to step up its games. Officials insist the warships are in South Africa for joint naval drills and operation, but symbolism matters. Warships don't travel thousands of miles for casual diplomacy. They arrive to demonstrate strength, unity, and readiness. To supporters across Africa and the global south, this moment feels historic, a break from decades of Western dominance and control.
Ahead of naval exercises involving BRICS countries in South African waters, 2 Chinese naval ships as well as an Iranian vessel were seen arriving in Cape Town. These drills will start on Friday and run until the 16th of January. The exercise would involve navies from BRICS countries, including that of Russia. BRICS, originally made up of Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa, has expanded to include Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates and more recently Indonesia. India assumes the BRICS chairmanship and will host the 18th BRICS summit this year. Previously known as Exercise Mosi, the joint drills were initially scheduled for November 2025, but they were postponed due to a clash with the G20 summit in Johannesburg. South African Defence Force said that the drill is focused on the safety of shipping and maritime economic activities. South Africa had drawn criticism from the US for its close ties with Russia and a range of other policies, including its decision to bring a genocide case against Israel at the International Court of Justice over the Gaza war. US President Trump had accused countries in the BRICS group, calling them nations of anti-American policies. In 2023, South Africa was criticized for hosting naval exercise with Russia and China that coincided with the one-year anniversary of Kremlin's attack on Ukraine. South Africa's Democratic Alliance, a member of the ruling unity government, says the parliament has not been properly briefed on the drills, including cost, command structure and diplomatic consequences. And for more on this, our correspondent Kaldin Ongmu has sent us this report from Johannesburg. Take a look.
Questions have been raised over multinational naval exercise, a will for peace drill, and experts have said South Africa risks further straining its ties with the United States, which is in dispute with many of the countries taking part. In 2023, Pretoria was heavily criticized for hosting naval exercises with Russia and China. South Africa has been at loggerheads with the US since President Donald Trump returned to the White House more than a year back. Its ties to Iran are among the issues that has been cited, and this drill is likely to ignite further tension. South Africa's second largest political party, the Democratic Alliance, said the inclusion of Russia and Iran in the drill would undermine the government's claims that it was non-aligned. South Africa's military is yet to release a full list of participating countries, but it did previously say that the exercise brings together navies from BRICS plus countries. This is Kaldin Ongmu from Johannesburg, South Africa for WION World is One.
This is the time that we all need to wake up as Africans and also tighten our belt instead of sitting and waiting for other people to come here to set us free. Social media explodes as images of warships spread. Many Africans hail the move as a sign of sovereignty and resistance, saying Africa is finally choosing its own partners. Others warn the continent could become the new front line of global power competition. Either way, the silence is gone. This is the time. No matter what, Africa must prepare. We cannot just sit down and watch the world evolve around us. Western governments have expressed concern, a word that has become familiar whenever Africa steps outside the script written for it. Analysts say the discomfort is real. BRICS is no longer just an economic club. It is evolving into a strategic force. And Africa must also evolve into becoming a strategic force. Anytime we try to do something different, these people always show up. And this is the time Africa must wake up. For South Africa, this is a bold balance act. The country insists it remains non-aligned, but its actions are being watched closely. Hosting warships from BRICS partners sends a powerful signal that Pretoria is willing to challenge pressure and defend itself, right to choose its alliance. And one thing we need to understand as Africans, in this world, there is nothing like neutral. One time, Captain Ibrahim Traoré also said it, you must belong, and this is one thing Africans are scared to do. One thing is certain, this is not just about ships, it's about a world where power is no longer dictated by blocks. It's about Africa refusing to be treated as a pawn. And it is about BRICS stepping onto the global stage with confidence, skill, and purpose. And these are the things Africa we need. We need to step up with confidence, skill, and purpose. For how long will we sit here for people to dictate to us? We've seen how the whole world is shaking, but Africa is silent. The warship may eventually sail away, but the message they deliver will echo for years. And as Africans, we don't just have to sit down waiting for this echo to come to an end. We need to also add our voice. In which way can the African do that? By also trying to build ourselves. We must not allow people to dictate to us. That time is over. This is a new era, and the African must take our own sovereignty into our own hands. Telling ourselves we don't want to belong is a lie. We must belong. This is what bold people do. Like we've seen Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso leaders do. They have taken a bold stand. The whole world knows where they stand. It's only in the democratic elected who pretend they don't want, simple because they still want these people, the oppressor, to continue to control the African. If we want to move away from Western influence and dominance, we should be ready to take our stance. We should be ready to move and take sides. This is how the world works. You must belong. It is very important. There is nothing like a neutral ground in this world. So as Africans, we need to understand and stop pretending that we don't want to belong just simply because we do not want to have problem with the oppressor. So we claim we are neither there or there. But deep down the house of the African, we know where we belong. We know where we belong. And even our actions always exposes what the mouth say. And that is the reason to which we should be bold enough to come out with our stand. Let the world know where we stand. And we should be ready to take stance. The reason to which Africans cannot do this, those in the democratic elected, is because we are not building ourselves enough. like the treaty claiming Africans with all the resources they carry to manufacture these things. The Africans shouldn't think about it to talk of getting a nuclear whatever. And this, Russia came and opened our eyes before the African even thought of getting nuclear plant. These are things we need to break away from, and not to sit in African Union and be giving speeches just to deceive ourselves. We need to work with action, because this world is full of action. We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we make African great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world. In Africa, Southern Africa, and in South Africa.